Hey everybody, we're here with Mike Rooth for kind of a surprise interview. We've been promising this for a while. We've worked with Mike lots of times. He's a longtime friend. Mike, how's it going? Give us a little description of what's going on in your life lately.
Oh man, it's been hey, good to see you. It's been crazy, man. Honestly, this year started out kind of slow, the same way every year starts out for retail, like for illustrators like me. It's usually the first few months of the year are kind of lean, but as always, things are starting to pick up. So I've been uh, I've been trying to focus on just getting well. I've been dealing with some health stuff in the last little while. I think it's just because 2024 ended up being such an unbelievably heavy year of work, which I'm grateful for because 2023 was really a lean, tough year.
Mm-hmm.
But 2024, by the time April rolled around, I was so busy, I basically didn't stop working until like late November. And I barely left my table, and I really was just working so much. It was crazy. But I got to do so many cool projects, and I had a working with a retailer out in California, Mr. Eclectables, who's been just an awesome guy to work with, and he had these great visions of things he wanted to do. So we've been working on all kinds of cool projects, and mostly turtle stuff, which has been awesome fun for me. But yeah, it was crazy right up until November, and then everything kind of slowed down, and I'm cool with that. I kind of needed a break, so it worked out okay. But yeah, this year has been just kind of nothing but health challenges so far, and sort of getting to the bottom of what's ailing me, and living in a place like Canada, at least all that exploration isn't costing me anything as we figure out what it is. But a
Just
lot of it's just the regular old guy stuff that guys my age get, and just getting on top of all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's been good. I'm feeling optimistic about the future. I've yeah, I'm just I signed a contract with a publisher this week to work on a project, which I'll maybe next time I'm on the show, it'll be either out or I'll be able to talk about it then. Um,
that's so funny because that's the first thing I asked you if we could talk about it, and you
yeah,
said no, and then you bring it up instantly.
yeah, no, I was just gonna bring it up just to say like I can't really talk about what it is, but yeah, there's some really cool news coming soon. And It's pretty exciting stuff. I It was kind of a nice surprise to get this call to do this job. But it's a big challenge for me. It's interiors. It's interiors of a book that I love, and I think that's going to be pretty exciting. So yeah, fingers crossed it all goes well, and I live long enough to see it through. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
positive thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. But no, other than that, it's just been pretty solid, man. I've unfortunately I was supposed to be at AwesomeCon in Washington D.C. this weekend. I decided to cancel the trip for a number of reasons, but primarily health related ones. But I'm kind of bummed out because it's an awesome show from what I've heard. It's right in the name of the show,
I
but
was I was waiting for the pun. Yeah.
yeah, it's an amazing show from what I've heard. It's a government town, so there's a pretty affluent fan base that goes to it, and I've got a lot of books to sell, so it would have been a cool thing to do this weekend. But I hope anyone who's listening to this weekend or whenever this airs, if they're in the Washington D.C. area, they go and check it out because Joe Schmalke's there. He's amazing. Rich Woodall,
Mhm.
Jarrett Melendez is there. Just a ton of awesome creators who are there.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, it's gonna be. I'm sure it's gonna be a great weekend. I'm bummed out because I went to the same people who invited me to that one invited me to Rose City in Portland, Oregon, in September, and it was a fantastic show. Like I would love to go back, but we'll see what happens. It's a little bit weird to travel to the States right now. I think,
Yeah.
especially when you're traveling for business purposes, and I'm not really a good liar, so there's not a whole lot of
Sure.
secret stuff I can pull off while I'm while I'm down there or just getting across. So it's a tricky game. The game seems to have changed a little bit, but yeah, it's okay. There's lots of great Canadian shows, and of course, I'm open to the UK or anyone else in the overseas that wants to invite me out to a show. That would be pretty rad. But
Well, what
yeah.
if people want to get your work who aren't at a show? Why don't you plug your website there?
Yeah, well, you can always contact me through my website, which is just mikerooth.com, or you can go to my shop, which is mikerooth.bigcartel.com. And I've got some comics and things for sale there. But I'll show a couple of things I've been working with. A lot of what I've been doing has been for my friend JC out in California, who's Mystery Collectibles, and through him, I was able to work on a ton of amazing projects. I'll pull some samples out to show you.
Mm-hmm.
It just started out amazing. I don't know if I've got everything I can show. I've got a couple things here. We started out doing when the TMNT relaunched. We started out by doing the issue 1. I actually did 3 different covers for issue 1 of TMNT relaunch, which features Raphael. I don't think I actually have any copies of that handy. I might have one here. Hang on a sec. Like I said, I'm living in a pile of clutter. So, here we go. So here's one. And the cool thing about these covers I did with JC is they're pretty much all wraparound covers. So we did, we did some cool stuff like this where you have a sequential page on the back. Oh, nice. Purgatory. Sweet.
Oh, I didn't know you saw me on video there.
Yeah, my back is to you right now, but
okay.
But yeah, I just happened to turn around. But so we did these this cover here for Raphael. We also did one for Michelangelo and issue 2, and Donatello issue 3.
Mm-hmm.
Leonardo issue 3, and then Donatello issue 4. And I haven't got any available to show at the moment, just because. What's this now? Is that one? No. But yeah, it's been cool, man. We started out last year. Actually, I wanted to kind of take the year by the, take it by the collar and shake it a little bit. So I actually started working with Danny Harrell, creator of Rebel Girls comic, and he wanted to team up on a couple of projects together. So we did a Turtles book. We did issues 147. Issue 150, we did covers for that. We also broke out and did Dick Tracy, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And Danny did all the colors on that, and he killed it, as he always does. After that, we did a Red Sonja book, which I don't know if I've got one handy here. I should have pulled a big stack out, but like I said, I'm living in a crazy, chaotic mess. We did a Red Sonja cover. We also plan to do a Phantom cover in the coming months because Mad Cave has the Phantom book. Mad Cave is doing awesome things. They are a great company. They've been amazing to work with. This was a lot of fun. I could have done a Dick Tracy cover for every issue. I thought it's just been a really great retelling of this. Not a retelling, but like a nice modern take on Dick Tracy without losing the essential elements of it, which is
it has been good. I've been reviewing it on my show. It's been great.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying all the reboots of the older properties lately. So
it's been amazing. Yeah, there's I love those old properties. They're really cool, really fantastic. I did one for Flash Gordon as well, which for TN Collector down in Tullahoma, and a really awesome guy, Cliff. I did a Flash Gordon cover for him, and I love doing stuff for Mad Cave because they have they have no print minimum. You don't have to commit to 10 million copies of a book. You can just do like 50 if you want to just do a special variant cover that there's only 50 or 100 of. Like there's only 100 of those Dick Tracy books, which is kind of amazing. I don't have the samples of issues 1 through 4 of TMNT at hand, but recently through Collectibles, I was able to do this cover, which is TMNT number 7, and put a Triceraton on there, and we have Casey Jones. Nice. And what makes this cover special is couple of years ago when I was at Granite, I met Steve Levine, who's one of the original guy to put color on the Turtles back in the old days when they were black and white comics and they transitioned to color, the first edition graphic novels and stuff. Steve Levine did the colors on that. He's always been involved with the Turtles ever since. But he really liked my work, and we had a couple of conversations, and he just kind of said, I want to work together. Let's find a way to work together. And this year at Granite in September, JC from Collectibles was with me there, and he him and Steve talked about it. Next thing you know, they got this. So this piece here was drawn in black and white, and then I actually mailed the piece to Steve, the original, and Steve went in with his airbrush and his inks, and he made this thing sing. Like, it was unbelievable. So it was a huge honor to work with Steve on that. We plan on doing some other stuff. Steve's actually coming to the Niagara Falls Comic-Con this year in June, and I'm hoping to be there as well so that we can sign these books and maybe have something else that's cool and available for that show. But yeah, JC provided some amazing opportunities. Like, he was a big fan of the Turtles in Time video game. So when we had an opportunity to do a foil cover, he wanted to do a foil cover that was kind of a tribute to the Turtles in Time, arcade game. So I was able to have some fun with that. And you can see there's the Collectibles there on the bottom. That's his logo.
That's awesome.
But, yeah, awesome guy. We got to have some fun with this project. And that was just the start. He kept us busy because the next thing we found out that we were doing was this, which is just nuts. This was mind-blowing. I had no idea it was coming. It was actually Danny Harrell that pointed out that this was even coming. But the Turtles of Grayskull.
Yeah, those have been great.
Now, I was aware that there was a toy line already. And I when he decided he wanted to do a cover for this, he wanted to do one for every issue. I was like, well, let's do something special. Let's make them all connect. So I actually have issues 1, 2, and 3 here. Issue 4 comes out really soon, but I don't have any copies of it here just yet. They'll be coming eventually. But you can get them at Mystery Collectibles. You can get them on his eBay shop. And the 4 covers connect to make one big picture. And what makes this kind of a special project for me was I was able to do this old school. I wanted to really have that kind of old school original feeling. So I painted these. These were all done with just like brushes and paint. There was no digital work at all done. It was just I laid out all 4 issues, the covers, and then I got the go ahead to illustrate them in the old school way because I really wanted them to feel like the mini comics that came with He-Man toys, like Alfredo Alcala, and I mean, even Bruce Timm and Mark Texiera, like some real comic book legends, got some of their first work doing those weird, cheesy little comics that came with the He-Man toys. But I love those comics, and especially the first ones and the first edition He-Man stuff, because Alfredo Alcala used to draw Conan. Of course, I'm a big Conan guy, so having him, so he was really my big inspiration on this project. I wanted to try to capture those vibrant colors, and the other thing that makes this project so special is when I was doing it, I asked Dark Horse for permission if I could. I said, do I have to draw classic Turtles battling classic He-Man figures? And they were like, yeah, that's the best way to go. And I'm like, because I know there's the crossover editions of those characters, but I didn't have a lot of that information available. And they said, nah, just play it safe. And because, it has to get approved by us, but it also has to get approved by Mattel. So, just stick to the straight and narrow and do the Turtles, classic Turtles versus classic He-Man. And I was like, all right. So I laid out all 4 issues in rough sketch. And then I was like, before I submit the sketches, I'm going to just push it. I'm going to push back a little bit. So I put an overlay on top, and I actually drew kind of barbarian versions, like Eternian barbarian versions of the Turtles in exactly the same poses they would have been had they been traditional Turtles. And much to my surprise and delight, they got approved. So these Turtles designs are my own, like Donatello with antlers, for instance. That's all my own design. And I don't know if these will ever become toys or not, but if they do, I probably won't get $1 for it, but I'll have the pride of knowing that they came from my brain. So that was cool. So while I was catching my breath working on those, and like I said, there's a fourth issue as well. I ended up getting this gig as well, which was the TMNT Naruto stuff. Now, I don't know anything about Naruto, but we, when I used to teach art like 20 years ago, I used to teach art to kids and like teenagers and stuff, and they would always bring me Naruto stuff to draw or to teach them how to draw that stuff, and I had no idea how to do it because anime is not really my jam. But JC from Me Collectibles is a really big fan of the Naruto stuff, so yeah, it was fun, and we had Danny Harrell signed up to color these ones for us. So Danny did 100% of the colors on these bad boys, which was really cool. He really killed it, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And then we followed up that with the TMNT #7, and I don't know what's coming up next, but
Conan, your Conan book.
There is some Conan stuff coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this. I can show you this. Yeah. So this I got my comps in the mail yesterday. That's Conan #20, Conan the Barbarian #20. This will be available in every comic book shop. This is the B cover, so this isn't a retailer exclusive. This is actually available in every shop. So go out and get one next. I think it's not next week, but the week after. I think is when it comes out. I'm lucky because these showed up in the mail yesterday, so I was able to read them, which was awesome. Because it's just been amazing to get to touch this property at all. And then this was actually drawn in the summertime. And they're like, yeah, it's not coming out till April, but your deadline is like, the deadline was sometime in August. So I got that done and I kind of forgot about it. So it's nice that we're finally come around to April and it's come out. In the meantime, though, I did this because I really, sometimes you do a thing and you're happy with it and you're thinking, that was cool. But then after you see it come out, or before it comes out, you're kind of like, man, I would have changed this, or I would have added this, or I would have altered that, or whatever. And I'm my own worst critic. So after I got this piece finished, I still had this itch to draw more Conan. Like I wanted to do a little bit more. So that's where this came in, and I decided to do my own cover for Savage Sword of Conan, which is the magazine format book, which was awesome. And I wanted to paint this one old school. Like I did my He-Man books, because doing those Turtles of Grayskull really woke something up in me for wanting to paint. So that's kind of been my vibe lately, is just to draw it and paint it. So this one was a lot of fun. The only tragedy with this book was I was really happy with how it came out, but all the books have damaged corners. Some of them were very severe. Like some of them were not only torn or split, they were torn. Like some of them torn on the front, some tore on the back. The bottom corner is also pretty fluffy. So it's unfortunate, but this was done with my local shop here in Oakville, Dungeon Comics. And they're awesome guys. Logan's awesome. His whole crew there is awesome. And they really wanted to do their first exclusive with me. And it just so happens that they're Conan guys. So that worked out well for me. And I was able to draw. I mean, they told me it was a Roy Thomas story that had a were-tiger in it. So I was all over that. Especially
so that's not Tony the Tiger on the front there. I thought he was offering him a breakfast.
very much in the vein of Tony the Tiger. Yeah, this might be one of his ancestors from a few thousand years before. But
there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that has been a lot of fun, and I hope I can do some more Savage Sword work, because it's been really cool to work with that company. They're really doing awesome stuff. I got to hang around with Jim Zub a little bit, who's writing the flagship book, and doing some Savage Sword short stories as well. And I got to hang out with him in Vancouver and kind of got a sneak peek into what's coming. And Conan fans are in for a really big treat. There's some really amazing stuff on the way. And I'm just thrilled to even just have had a glimpse of it. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It's the world's in a crazy spot right now, but I've just been trying to keep my head down and just trying to keep on working and keep on doing the best work I can, and trying to stay positive and just continuing in that survival game that I've been doing all these years.
Sure. The He-Man and Turtle crossover, if you like that, there's another one coming out that's He-Man and Thundercats crossover.
Oh, really? Now
Yeah.
that would be a lot of fun. I would love that. I was really hoping to get my hands on some of the GI Joe stuff, man, because
Mhm.
I was a big GI Joe guy, and the Transformers too. More so GI Joe, but Transformers would have been fun too. But weird thing was when those relaunches happened in the Energon universe through Image and Skybound.
Mhm.
Um, I had four different retailers, including our friend Justin Steves, reach out to have me do a cover for those books, and for whatever reason, and I don't know why, um, I didn't get approved by Hasbro. I was approved by Skybound. I was approved by the creators involved, but for whatever reason, Hasbro immediately answered no. And So I thought that was kind of strange. And then I got another call from another retailer saying, "Man, I really wanted you to do a Destro cover for me, but they turned you down. Hasbro turned you down." So
Wow.
someone at Hasbro has it out for me. I don't know. I don't know what I did or who I offended there or what. Because I've seen some covers that have been, pretty decent, but I feel like I know the properties well, and I could handle that. I can handle doing them really, really well.
Well, with the
Um,
GI Joe, there's two versions, right? There's the Energon one, and they still have the original Larry Hama one going on as well.
Yes, yeah, and I would have been happy to work on either one,
Yeah.
but for whatever reason, Hasbro has to approve all of that. And Hasbro, I don't know if my name is on a list because the retailers couldn't explain it. The Skybound people were like, "We don't know." The image people, like Image approved me. Image was like, "We don't know what's going on, Mike." But
Hmm.
four times we asked, and four times the answer was no. So it feels very much like a forbidden project for me. So I have lots of blank covers, so I can still draw GI Joe stuff for collectors. But I was bummed out. I think I would have done some pretty rad covers for those properties, and it kind of feels like a lost opportunity. But it is what it is. I've worked on lots of toy properties before. Like Nickelodeon's approved me for all of the the people involved with the Turtles have approved me. Universal, Mattel has approved me for all the He-Man stuff. But for whatever reason, I was not able to land the GI Joe thing, which
That's so strange.
it's just one of those things where it's always going to bug me that I don't know why, because I never got an answer. Um, I've asked artists who've worked with Hasbro material before, and they're like, "Yeah, you must have been put on a list. Like, you must have had some kind of a, I don't know, some kind of a bad exchange. I can't think of a single bad exchange I've had with anyone in the comics business, but for whatever reason, I was not approved. So
Hmm.
kind of a bummer. But yeah, but no, exciting things ahead, man. I have another thing with DC that I'm working on right now, which I can't talk about. But that came out of nowhere, and that will be hopefully news pretty soon. Pretty big book of theirs coming this summer that I'm doing a cover for. And Today I got asked to do a cover for the Jay and Silent Bob Archie stuff, which would be really fun to do. I'm just not sure I'm going to have the time because I have some other stuff on the way. But yeah, it's been weird. It's like in this business, you go from like 0 to 60 in no time. Like I've literally had no work since November. I've just been living off of whatever my auctions, sketch auctions bring in,
Mhm.
and stuff like that. And I've been doing Kickstarter stuff. Like I recently did a cover for Danny Harrell's Kickstarter for Rebel Girls, his newest Kickstarter that's going right now.
Phantom of the Opry.
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, I'll see if I can find that original piece. I got it over here. Yeah, here we go. So I've been kind of helping my friends on some Kickstarter pieces. Like I did this one for Danny, which features kind of his main dude Barry, and the girls reflected in the shades, and that is available. This original art's available through his Kickstarter right now, which is doing pretty well. I wish it was doing better. Like I wish all my friends' Kickstarters were doing better. But if you're watching this when this thing airs and the Kickstarter is still running, jump on Kickstarter, look up Danny Harrell, look up Rebel Girls, and support the book because it's really cool. I think people have been sleeping on this book, and it's a shame because they got Robert Ahmad doing the interior art. Danny does all the lettering and all the coloring, and he's killing it. Like he's just it's an amazing story.
Yeah, it's a good book.
This one here is one that I did for Orica the Great White North. This is another kind of big portrait style piece that I did for the latest Orica of the Great White North project. So I've been trying to help out on some Kickstarters. My buddies Mike Connell and Kevin Manklow do this book called Feral. They're from they're Mad Quill Studios, the Mad Quill. It's pirates and werewolves, man. Like you can't go wrong with that.
That's awesome.
This is a cover that I did. Actually, my buddy Carl Waller, who you know, he did I was struggling coming up with a layout for this cover, and he, of course, in 5 seconds did like a little stickman sketch of how he saw it, and I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna jump on that." So I basically just blew up his little sketch and penciled it and inked it. But yeah, that one, man, I must have signed 1 million of these at Toronto Comic Con a few weeks ago. They had the guys were there and they were selling a lot of these because I had lineups of people bringing this book to my table to have me sign it, which was really cool. So yeah, I'm always trying to help out Kickstarters when I can while I'm waiting for other projects to materialize.
You did the Turtles role-playing game last year as well.
Yes, yeah, that's coming soon too. Yeah, I got the original art for that. I sold one piece to Dungeon Rob there, Rob Denner. He's got he owns the Casey Jones piece, surprising no one. And then the other one that I did was really fun. It was where is it now? It is right here. And this one was cool because I got to do my own character that I actually played back in 1986 when I played the game. This Badger guy with the mace in the foreground here, that was the character that I made up, that I rolled up, a mutant badger. That's and then cool. For the sake of this artwork, this is a tribute artwork which appears in the new edition of the video game, or the role-playing game. I rolled up that turkey and Kung Fu Bunny. They were actually characters that I drew for using the book for Paul Kemp, who supported one of the Things Are Getting Sketchy Kickstarters, and he wanted an original, TMNT and Other Strangeness character rolled up. So, and then the shotgun with the shotgun wielding porcupine here is my buddy Dave, who I grew up with. He played that character when we played the game. One cool thing I can talk about, which is something else I'm working on, because like I said, it's been nothing since October or November, and all of a sudden now I'm busy as hell. I got asked to work on this project.
Oh, sweet.
Which is going to be a lot of fun. Ty Templeton is doing the story on this one. It's the Captain Canuck 50th anniversary summer special. And they had a beautiful drawing by Tom Grummett, the great Tom Grummett. They had him draw this up, and they needed a colorist. So they asked me if I'd be willing to color the piece. So I said, sure, I'll color it. And they loved the colors. And the next thing you know, they hired me to color the whole interior of the book. So I have that on my plate right now, which is a lot of fun.
Lots of trending with Captain Canuck because of stuff like that, and the Trump one. And
yeah. So it's been, and David Cutler's doing the artwork on this book, and the guy is brilliant. Like, his work is so clean and so well drawn. So it should be a real pleasure to color. This one was a lot of fun. This Tom Grummett piece. I love Tom though. I just love his work, but getting a chance to color his work, like I said yes automatically. And then when they asked me to color the book, I was like, I don't really like doing colors, but Ty Templeton wrote the book and David Cutler drew the book. And I'm like, I'd be crazy to say no. But then of course, as soon as I signed on to color this book, I ended up landing an interior gig for another publisher, which is fine. It just means I'm going to have some long days ahead, but that's okay. I've had like 4 or 5 months where I've had like no work at all. So I've kind of recharged my batteries a little bit. And that's the plan, is just to keep on rolling with comics, man. Just got to keep on making comics. So, yeah, exciting stuff for sure.
The Swamp Thing sketch that you're working on right now, that's the first appearance of John Constantine issue, right?
Yeah, it's the facsimile edition of
Right.
Saga of the Swamp Thing, or just Swamp Thing 37.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got that beautiful cover by John Totalman. But it's yeah, man, it's such a great book. It's you can tell that they really planned that they really had Sting, the singer, in mind to be Constantine in those days.
Sure.
And yeah, these facsimile editions are brilliant. They've been wonderful. There's been a few nice ones. I got this one actually the other day when I was at Dungeon Comics here in Oakville. I grabbed one of these. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's in my stockpile of books. I actually have a couple of your books still. Last time I saw you in Winnipeg, like 4 years ago,
Yeah.
I still have some books you sent me home with. I haven't been able to do any commissions really in a long time. I'm pretty much only doing commissions at conventions now because things at home have been a little bit. Well, they've been crazy all of last year. This year, I've just been trying to catch my breath and and get kind of ramped up for whatever's coming. And there's been quite a few little shows and a little bit of traveling to do. So yeah, I'm hoping to get back on that commission train. But it's been it's been wild. It's been I mean, I'd always rather be working on comics than doing commissions, but I've had people waiting now for a long time for things, which is why I never take money up front on commissions, because I never know how my schedule is going to go or how long people are going to wait. I don't, I hate that people have to wait at all, but I hate it even more if I owe them money too, So I always try to keep that, to keep those two things separate. So that's why I haven't been offering a lot of commissions lately, just because I really haven't had the mental bandwidth for it. But yeah, I don't know. Exciting things ahead, I think, man. I'm pretty excited about about what's going on. But
are you doing any conventions in the next little bit?
Yeah, what have I got coming up next? Yeah, I was supposed to be in Awesome Con this weekend, but I think I have an appearance at Wayside Comics and Cocktails in Newmarket at the end of this month, 26. I'll be actually there with the Feral guys. They're doing a showcase there, and they brought me along, so I'm going to be hanging out there, and people will be able to get my Turtles books from me and my Conan stuff. And then I don't think I have. Oh yeah, end of May, last weekend of May. Is the Niagara Falls Comic Con. And with any luck, I'll be there. I haven't been confirmed, but with any luck, I'll be at that show. And then the week after that, I have TCAF, which is my first time going to the Toronto Comic Arts Festival. I've never gotten in before, so it's kind of cool to finally get accepted into that show. It's a really world-class show. That really is a comic featuring, a comic focused show. So that's going to be kind of cool. And I'm going to be showcasing Dodge at that show because Dodge has been finished now for a while. And, the Kickstarter has been all fulfilled. And, the next step would be to make a graphic novel edition. So I've got permission now to go ahead and put that together. So I'm hoping to have the 4-issue collected edition of Dodge available at TCAF for the first time as a single volume. That's the plan anyway. Erica's going to be the quarterback on that one. We've got all the pages already and inked and lettered and colored and everything. So it's just a matter of getting that thing assembled into graphic novel format. And we're actually thinking we might go slightly smaller than regular trade paperback. We might go like 6x9, like kind of a little bit more condensed, and it might just help the artwork kind of tighten up a little bit in places. And it'll be nice to see that book in a single volume, because the problem with doing a Kickstarter is you fulfill your Kickstarter, but then you end up with kind of a weird mismatch of leftover books. So like currently I have about a dozen copies of Dodge #1. I might have 2 copies of Dodge #2. I think I have 4 copies of Dodge #3, and probably like a few copies of Dodge number 4, but most of that print run got damaged. So a ton of books are sitting in Colorado in the Matt Nixon's garage, who wrote the book. So we, I haven't seen him in a long time. So we're not really sure what the next stage is, but we don't want it to sit. I mean, I put 6 years of my life into that book, so I really want to take it to the next level and make it available for everyone to enjoy as a single volume edition. So that's the plan. We're probably going to go with local printer here, Alfonso, to take care of that for us. Studio Comics, I believe they're called. They print a lot of graphic novels for Canadian creators. And we're also looking at for the full color edition, maybe something. There's a Chinese printer that we had considered who do really beautiful work. They've done some of our friends' books, and they just look incredible. So, but they take a little bit longer to do. And TCAF is coming up fast. It's coming up faster than I think it is. So, we're thinking we're going to do a limited edition just for TCAF of Dodge, which will be just like 100 copies, and that'll be it. So, we'll see. We'll see what goes on there. That's there's so much happening again all at once that all of a sudden these great laid plans we had are all kind of like, well, we'll do this if we can, and we'll do this if we can find the energy to do it or the time to put it together. But a lot of it has to do with Erica's work schedule, and she's been real busy with her job, and yeah, it's been crazy, man. Freelance is just crazy now. It's just like you can't say no to the work, and then when it rains, it pours. Same old tropes, that way. But yeah. A lot of great Kickstarters happening right now. Like I mentioned, Danny's Rebel Girls Kickstarter. He's pretty close to hitting funding on that too. Like I think he's around 85 or 90% or something.
I think I saw 85% or something the other day on a post somewhere.
So I encourage anyone who wants to support a really good, really solid creator to jump on that. And we have Becca doing a cover, we have Brenda Little doing a cover. So there's definitely some Canadians involved in the project, if that's what's holding people up at all. But yeah, Danny's doing amazing stuff with that, and I'm so happy that we're going to see what comes next with Rebel Girls. I'm just so happy he's keeping it going. That artist he's got, Robert Ahmad, is I wish that guy draws like I've never seen anyone draw before, and he's able to produce pages and layouts and character design so quick. I wish I had a tenth of his interior abilities, because that guy is a monster. He makes it look like it's easy, and he looks like he's not even trying. And the book is beautiful. Like the Rebel Girls has been just a stunning book.
Yeah,
the page layouts are amazing, and Danny's just put a lot of his heart and soul into this thing, and it's really funny. It's really clever. So I can't say enough about that. My buddy Doug Knight, he's also got the Cross-Eyed Comics. He's also got a great Kickstarter going right now for his book. And he's a legally blind artist here in Canada who's pulls off the most amazing drawings with the limitations that he has. You'd never know that he had any limitations at all. The guy's work is unbelievable, and he's getting around all the shows that he can. He's doing all that cool stuff. So yeah, lots of cool things going on. As far as conventions go, yeah, like I've got TCAF. After TCAF, I don't think I have anything. I'd love to do Montreal in July because it's around my 50th birthday. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'll probably be at Fan Expo in August, which would be the other big one. And then I'm hoping to come out west, man. I'd love to do Winnipeg again. I'd love to connect with you guys and with Justin out there and work on some cool things. And
I know the next time you come out here, Ashley wants to get you into 204.
Oh, dude, 100%. I love those guys. I miss those guys. Actually, he sent me a really cool book. He found a source book of the TMNT.
He told me that.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. Gave me a great deal on a cool old book. I got it right here, actually. And it was just great to. just a nice message to get from him one day. But that was a great little shop there. I really enjoyed Winnipeg. I'd love to get back, man.
It's their 4th anniversary starting tomorrow.
Oh, no kidding! Right on. Yeah. Well, congrats to those guys. They're a really good crew. Really good dudes. And I'd love to work with them on some things, and certainly to come in and just do a signing and hang out would be awesome.
It would be.
Are you still involved with the wrestling stuff out there?
I still go to that, but I don't take part in them anymore.
Right. Yeah. Take too many bumps, or
no, not too many bumps. It just got to be too much. Like you said, when you're doing everything else in that, and you do that, when it starts to be more work and headache than fun, then something's got to go a little bit. So
absolutely, man. Yeah. People forget, just because you're doing something that you have passion for, people forget that it's still work. Right. Like, I love drawing the turtles. Don't get me wrong, and it's a thing that I love. It's a thing that I really, really enjoy, and it's still really hard work, man. I'm sure JC from Eclectables could tell you, even Justin could tell you, when the cylinders aren't firing, it becomes very stressful when those deadlines loom closer and you're not any further to finding an idea that you're in love with. Sure. And whenever I'm doing covers for any kind of property, I want to be in love with it. I want to love every part of it. And I recently have been working on a cover for DC, and it's one that I should really be excited about, but the truth is it's such a big character that it's been really hard to come up with something that hasn't been done a million times, or just to come up with something truly unique and that really speaks to who I am. So it's a big challenge. It kind of weirdly affects your motivation on things,
especially too for most of us, when you're doing things like you have your regular work, which pays your bills and whatnot, and then everything else is extra on the side, right? So so when you're doing that on the side, and then it starts not being fun, or it just starts not being worth it, or you're getting no crapped on, and you just lose the energy to do it, and you just don't want to do it anymore.
Right? Yeah, no, that's very true. It's I'm always going to want to draw turtles, and when I handed in that last Turtles cover, I was like, I could use a break from drawing turtles for a little while, just because I had exhausted so many ideas. So much of the time, we'll have an idea that for a concept, and I'll start hammering out the idea, and it'll start to take a different direction, and you get away from what you wanted to do originally, and now you're kind of in this weird limbo state of trying to get back to that core idea that got you excited to begin with. And now you're in this weird place of it's not what we wanted. It's not what we were going for, but it's kind of stronger now, or it's better now, or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that ends up on the cutting room floor that, I never look at it as a wasted time or anything like that, because those things can always be recycled or reused or turned into something else.
Well, even stuff that they say you pick up on the fly, not expecting, and you just kind of walk into it, ends up being awesome, right? I got a couple pieces here of yours. I have
oh, nice, right on. Yeah,
this is the Calculated Man one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, oh, you get that in a nice frame and everything, eh? Beautiful. Right on. Yeah, that was a fun cover, man. And I gotta be honest, man, that whole Aftershock thing just broke my heart, because I did so much cool stuff for them. I did, man, that whole cocktail hour thing that I was doing, happy hour once a month or so, once or twice a month, I was doing knocking out a cover.
Yeah, and it was awesome being on there. I love that stuff.
Oh man, it was just so cool. The projects were cool. All of the books were really exciting and really.
Well, I have another one here. I'll grab for you.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Devil Chicken. Chicken Devil.
Chicken Devil, yeah.
Chicken Devil. That was one of my favorite covers for those guys, man. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I love the whole concept of that book. It felt like Breaking Bad. It felt like it had that real high intensity kind of, crimey kind of vibe to it. It was.
I'm surprised it hasn't been turned into something yet.
Me too. And I'm not sure, I'm not even sure what is even allowed to be said about all that. All I know is when they declared bankruptcy, it was in a state where, you know, I'm still owed for work that I did. You know, that's going back like, you know, 3 years now that I'm still waiting for paychecks that are never going to come.
Right.
And it's a heartbreaker because I loved everyone I worked with there. Everyone was amazing. No one was to blame. It's just shit happens sometimes.
Yeah.
And it was really too bad because all the projects were really cool, and now all I get in the mail every week, not that I, you know, continue to look for that paycheck to roll in, but all I get now is tons and tons of mail about the law, about the bankruptcy, because I was one of the people named on Bleeding Cool about like one of the creators named. And once we got a sense of the scope of how big that how big that issue was, how big that problem was, I knew at that point I was never going to see my money, because I was very small potatoes compared to some of the clients that were that are still waiting for their money. So it's a real heartbreaker, because I'm going to tell you, man, working for Aftershock was a real dream come true. I met some of the best people who are still remain to this day, my very close friends. And I was so grateful for the opportunities I had there. And honestly, they made excellent books. They
did.
Really,
that's where I got my stuff. I got the Chicken Devil books. I had the Calculated Man books too. Like, that's where I got my start and how I met all you guys as well.
Well, and you did some awesome stuff with Michael Berglund too. Like, he did some beautiful covers, as well. And that was his first published work. So like, I know he was really excited about all that. And yeah, it's just crazy, man, how the last few years have gone and how so much has changed. It's really hard to. It's really kind of, yeah. I mean, the pandemic obviously, you know, created a lot of change, but I just can't get over how much time has passed and how that whole time, so much of it just feels like a strange vacuum of just lost time, like a strange kind of purgatory or like limbo kind of state that, you know, it's really too bad. There's a lot of great comics that were made in that time, and I don't know, a lot of great friends I made that things have just changed so much, and I don't know, it's weird, man. Comics is weird.
and there's much uncertainty ahead of us now too, so.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm seeing yesterday was a rather heartbreaking day because so many cool projects that and Kickstarters that had been funded and had been well on their way are now being really severely affected by the tariffs. And you know, so much printing gets done in Canada and so much gets done in China. And you know, some of them in China has been hit with, like, you know, especially for American creators, you know, China's been hit with like a 54% tariff, which completely removes any chance of profitability from Kickstarters. And generally speaking, Kickstarter profitability is fairly low anyway, because you always end up getting hosed on shipping. You always end up, you know, not being able. You can plan for everything and still get it botched on you. You know what I mean? And
sure.
I mean, it happened to us during Dodge. We had a major shipping price hike happen, you know, during, you know, at one point during the pandemic, and when we were creating Dodge after we had done the Kickstarter, and, you know, we'd done all the math for international shipping, and it didn't matter. We were so far off the mark that we made no money, even on campaigns where we raised 3 times what we asked. We still ended up, you know, losing money. And you know, now I can't even imagine the state of things with all that. That's just scary. It's so sad because, you know, we're all just trying to make comics and trying to make people happy and trying to do cool things, you know. And
well, and we have no control over it.
And yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, even the postal strike that we had here in Canada, man, that really turned a lot of people's businesses upside down. It turned my wife and I upside down. We had to come up with all different kinds of options, and you know, FedEx and UPS and places like that sometimes are just not a better alternative, and they're a much more expensive alternative. And all that gets factored, you know, as you the purveyor of goods, that all comes back on you, and it's hard to put that on the customer and have them understand. And you know, it was tough, man. That postal strike was a brutal thing. That was.
It's not like it's done either.
No, and it left a lasting effect. A lot of people said they'll just never go back to Canada Post, and I don't really blame them. For me, Canada Post is still the best solution for what I do. So I was really glad that they came back, but I'm not happy about the way they had to come back. Like I really wanted a solution. People can very, very quick to jump on the bandwagon of calling blaming the postal workers on this. But when you really look at the math of it all, like the top people at Canada Post, like their year salary is the equal to the lifetime salary of the average postal worker.
Yeah.
And that's just a crazy number to consider.
It's the same with the HBC shutting down now.
Yeah.
The exact same thing, the exact same scenario.
Yeah, it's just weird. The priority is not put on the customer, it's put on the shareholders, and that's just it's just too bad. It just changes the dynamic of things. Like I don't know, but I was like I said, I'm glad I no longer had to resort to UPS and places like that for my shipping, but I really had hoped that a better solution would come for the workers, because they've had to just kind of pick up and keep on rolling with the same shitty deal they had, yeah. I just hope things get better for everybody. I hope I hope we're all here next year to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, things are kind of weird, right? So, but otherwise, yeah, no, things are. I think being optimistic. We have our own election coming up, which is gonna, really, really be a crucial thing in the next couple months. It's gonna determine the pathway for Canada and a lot of things. And I don't know. Man, it's crazy, scary things happening right now, and none of us asked for any of it.
That's the thing, right? It's we just have to sit there and kind of wait for them to do their decisions, and then just survive after that.
And then just shake our heads and go, really? You thought, okay, whatever. Yep, all right, well, let's keep on rolling then. It's all you can do. Like, yeah, it's crazy. The cost of doing these books, like these exclusives, is crazy, and it's about to get worse. I don't know. So far, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with sending stuff to the States and it being tariffed to hell or vice versa. There has been strange delays, which I expect. And, honestly, the delays that we have with shipping can still be traced back to the postal strike, because the backlog was just enormous especially right before Christmas. It was crazy. But so many of those things happened right in the middle of a project, like the Turtles book I did with Steve Levine. Like that was, I had to find a way to get him that artwork, and I had to get it to him quickly because we had a deadline to hit, and he's painting it by hand. So it wasn't an easy solution. I could have had it to him overnight in 2 days, with Canada Post, but the way things were, it turned into a whole other thing. And, thankfully it all worked out, but yeah, just nuts. It's just nuts.
That's how they used to do it in the old days.
Yeah, I guess, Yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, my cats are doing well. They're healthy. Rama beat diabetes, so he's still the boss of the house here.
That's great.
And but that's been good. It's been made it difficult for us to travel, the two of us, because Erica's had to miss out on a couple of shows. She was going to do Vancouver with me this year, but she ended up having to stay home to look after the boys. So that was a bummer. But Vancouver's a brilliant show. If anyone's never been, the Vancouver Fan Expo was a really awesome time. Really cool vibe out there. I'd never been to Vancouver before, except to go to the airport once 20 years ago on the way to Hawaii. But it was an amazing place. I wish I could have spent a little bit more time exploring the city. And I met some really awesome people out there, amazing cosplayers and other artists. I was able to meet Darcy Van Polgeest from Little Bird and Precious Metals for the first time. He was tabling a few tables away, so that was cool to finally get to meet him. And yeah, it was a great show. Really great show.
I can't picture you in Hawaii.
In Hawaii, I was a different guy back then, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I learned to swim in the ocean. I'd never swam before, and swimming in the Pacific Ocean, it blew my mind. It was a really cool vibe. That was Eric and I had just started dating in those days. Now we're been together 25 years, but yeah, they invited me to go out there because Erica's mom did business out there, and they had a timeshare out there. And so we did that, and it was that blew my mind, man. That was walking around volcanoes. I remember we went on a helicopter ride. There was like a helicopter tour. There was an old Vietnam helicopter pilot there who was had retired from the military, and now he was doing tourist stuff on a helicopter. So we were flying right into volcanoes and over the Valley of Kings, and drinking beer that was brewed on the mountains, and just eating all that seafood that was caught that morning. Unbelievable. Yeah, really cool place. I don't know that I'll ever get back to Hawaii, but it would definitely be on my list of places to return to if I could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm hoping to get out to the East Coast again too. I haven't been out there in a long time. They got CaperCon, and they got the East Coast Comic Expo. I'd love to go and do those shows. They got some good stuff out there. So we live in a great country, and it'd be great to get out there and see it all. There's even one in Newfoundland. I'd love to go to Newfoundland and do the Avalon show, or the one out there. And the Prince Edward Island, they have the Island Expo shows that they do, which are great. Sandy Carruthers and Tony White and Andrew Clark and all those guys do that one. And yeah, man, we got a lot of great talent and a lot of great Canadian shows in the country. So if I don't get back to the States for a little while, because I really do feel like it's a weird time to go there right now, especially for business, and you don't have the right paperwork. And even if you do have the right paperwork, you can end up in a place you don't want to be.
Yeah.
So it's the stories are pretty wild without getting too political. The world is changing quick. So I'm very happy to stay here and make my comics from home and hang out with my cats. But anyone listening would like me to come to their show. If you run a show, you let me know. I'll do my best to be there for sure. But Winnipeg is on my list. I definitely want to go back to Winnipeg. And I have a lot of reasons to want to go back to that show, mainly because I miss you guys. I miss the awesome crew of Winnipeg people out there, man. And Justin's out that way again. My old buddy from Big Country Comics, he's out that way again. And he's making cool books still. He's making stuff with the GY6 group that he's with. And yeah, man, it's been it's cool.
We'll make it happen.
Oh yeah, we'll figure out something, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely want to get around. If I can't go anywhere else, I definitely want to get around Canada and check out more of this place.
That's awesome. Your drawing is looking great, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, no, this was just something I thought I would do. It's easy to talk when I'm drawing Swamp Thing. He helps the words flow. Still to this day, he remains my go-to avatar when I'm feeling pain, or if I'm feeling sorrow, or if I'm just not sure where I'm at. The Swamp Thing usually helps me get there, and these covers are just lovely to draw on. So
they are. One of my favorite books from you is your Swamp Thing cover,
yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, no, that was man, getting to debut that at Winnipeg Comic Con with you guys was a thrill because
that was the first one with the old DC Bullet logo too.
Yeah, I know, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I feel like I had a hand in that.
I think so.
I feel like I had a hand in bringing that back, and people can argue with me, but I'm telling you, the reason I say this is because when I asked them at the time, like when I did the artwork, Justin was like, "Okay, we're gonna find out if they'll let us use the retro graphics and the old DC Bullet logo," and I'm like, "Please!" And he submitted the artwork, and they were like, the DC guys laughed at me. They're like, "There's no way that our marketing or our, I know, what do you call it?
PR.
Like our branding PR people will allow that. There's just no way." And then when the book went to print, there it was.
Yeah, that's one of my
I
favorites.
was like, you got to be kidding me. They're like, yeah, we tried it out with the old logo and the old graphics, and it looked awesome. So we decided to go with it. And I was like, you guys just made my day. And ever since then, people will buy this book off me either from my website or they'll buy it from at a show. And a lot of the first time people who will see it, they'll be like, so I collected Swamp Thing all through the 80s and 90s, and I don't have this issue. How did I miss this issue?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's because it came out in 2021.
Yeah, everyone thinks that's like the original stuff.
Yeah. And it this was a real thrill, man. It's still my banner at shows. I still use it. I would love to work with the Swamp Thing again. This is still probably my favorite thing I've ever done, because it was close second to that would be my Conan stuff and my Turtles of Grayskull. But there was something so special about this. To get to work on it and to just the energy around it, the things that were happening in my life around this project were so huge. And then, to see this thing come to life. And I just remember the funny part was setting up with you guys at Winnipeg Comic-Con, and DC had given us permission to release the book a few days ahead of shelf.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was, the weekend before, because it was Halloween weekend, too.
Yeah. And it was like going to be out that following Wednesday. And they're like, no, you guys can go ahead and release it. And there I was with a stack of 1 million of these books. And I busted out my Sharpie. And the first person that bought one, I signed it in Sharpie. And the Sharpie evaporated off the cover because the cover is so glossy and it's such a nice book that it wouldn't even take the Sharpie. So we had to find some other way to sign these books. So I remember going to the local art store there in Winnipeg on the night of the show, trying to find paint markers and things like that we could draw my name on with, because the black
I forgot about that.
It totally just evaporates off the cover. But this was a special book, man. I wish I had more of them. I'm sure Justin still has a bunch. Hopefully he does. I know he's had to move across Canada a couple of times, so I'm sure some stuff got lost in the shuffle. But if he has more of these, I'd love to get some, because this one is still probably the most solid selling book I have. And I've got like 3 racks of books on my table now compared to what I had when this thing came out. And it's still a consistently good seller. People still think it's something new, or something old, And I love the old logo and the bullet logo. So yes, I do feel partially responsible for the return of the DC logo, and I have to say it makes me so happy to see it again. It's just a perfect logo. Like I still want to get this tattooed somewhere, because it's just such a cool throwback to my childhood. It's just such a
for sure.
It was on everything I liked in those days. So but no, he's always fun to draw. He's always a blast to draw. So I hope I get to do some more. Man, that would have been so much fun. But we'll see what comes.
With this picture here that you're just finishing up here, are you going to throw it up on Facebook and Instagram for auction afterwards? Or?
Yeah, we could do that. Maybe we could run it on you still have your Facebook page going, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we could run it on your page or something if you want to, man.
Well, how about you put it on your page and I'll just attach it to my Facebook page?
Sure, we can do that. Yeah, I'll throw some color on this, and I'll add some highlights and stuff and make it pop out. And we'll put this up for auction. Maybe we'll do it today. I have one that's ending right now. I have this one that I did yesterday is ending at 9 p.m. tonight. And these blanks, man, I was so happy. Freddie Williams made them. He's the interior artist. He made these special blanks just for him. These are, of course, all of his brilliant mashup designs of the Turtles and He-Man, Turtles of Grayskull characters, and they're just amazing. But Freddie, being the unbelievable artist that he is, when it came to making the blanks, he had a hand in seeing how they were made. And this paper is the nicest paper I've ever drawn on for a sketch cover. It's like a real Strathmore Bristol board. So it's like it can take abuse. I painted this with watercolor. There's absolutely zero ripple or water bend. It just took it like a champ. and I was able to. You can only get them from Freddie, and they're not cheap.
No.
But I was able to work out a deal with them and get some for my own studio here. So I have some special ones of if anyone out there is interested in getting something really unique. Now, what's cool about this was I got to use my own. I obviously drew my own version of Leonardo because I love Freddie's designs. Don't get me wrong, but given the chance to to do Turtles and He-Man mashup, I had to do my own designs
For sure.
And when I think back to my own childhood, like I had a younger brother, and he ended up playing with a lot of my toys growing up. But I remember him playing with the Michelangelo action figure on our Battle Cat that we had. And so that was the first thing that came to my mind. And the Stinkor on the cover, that's all thanks to our buddy Stefan Nielsen. Because I said, what villain should I put on here? And he's like, well, you got to have Stinkor.
Yes.
And I was
I had Stinkor as a kid.
I did too. I was
it was patchouli. That's what that smell was.
It was nasty.
Yeah.
The worst, though, was Mossman. That was nasty.
I had Mossman, too.
But this one's special, too, because I asked Stefan, I said, well, give me a list of villains that you want on there. And two of them, he said, were Stinkor and Plundar. And Plundar is the bunny. And I never really remember that character. I didn't have the action figure. But he's the evil bunny. Mm-hmm. So I had to have him on the tower shooting that. Well, you can see he's shooting that Battle Cat. That explosion down there is it corresponds with the gunfire from Plundar. Awesome. So it was so much fun, man. That project was just so much fun to work on. I honestly, I feel like I made a pretty good relationship with the people at Dark Horse too. Like I really hope I can get some more work with them because it was amazing to work with those guys. Really, really awesome. Really amazing editors. And the editor on that project does all the He-Man stuff at Dark Horse. So I'm hoping I can get some more work there.
Well, like I said, they have that He-Man Thundercats mashup coming up.
Oh, yeah. See, that would be so cool. Thundercats is another one I wish I could have done a cover for.
The Thundercats on the Dynamite stuff and the Herculoids and Space Ghosts, like all that stuff has been so good, all the reboots.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what's coming. I don't know. They didn't make a big splash that I thought they should have made. And I've been angling to try to get work doing this. And I think I might be doing a variant through my local shop here, Dungeon. Mm-hmm. But Thundar the Barbarian.
Yes, I saw that too.
And I've been waiting my whole life for Thundar the Barbarian to come back. And so I've been trying to get information on how to do that. It's unfortunately got a pretty high print run. So I may have to find a couple of partners, a couple of stores to partner with to do it. But that's one that I would do the artwork for free just because it's Thundar the Barbarian. Like,
yeah, he's awesome.
It's just the coolest thing. And to know that it's coming back in comic book form is just a huge thing. I know I'm not the only one. I know Chris Campana has his eyes set on doing one of those as well. That lucky bastard got to do one for Battle Beast, which I would have loved to do as well. Mm-hmm. I'm way behind on. I'm all caught up on the show, but I never got to read the entire Invincible series. But I love that comic book. I think I read the first 8 or 9 trade paperbacks, and I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And the cartoon did a really great job of capturing that. And I'd love to do some stuff for Battle Beast. That was really cool. But Thundar is on my list of like I've got to do. And there's also a Ben Grimm, like the Thing series that started out this. I think it came out already, right?
I think it's next week. The first issue comes out.
Yeah, the first. I'm gonna be grabbing. They didn't make any blanks, which I'm like, nope. Why did you not make blanks? Like, why wouldn't you have made an orange blank? That would have been such a no-brainer.
I'm surprised they didn't, unless there's somebody out there like a store exclusive that has a blank.
Yeah, they might. I would pay for. Literally, that'd be like printing my own money.
Sure.
I would love to do an exclusive that was just a blank of that series. But that's going to be amazing. Tony Fleeks did the story on that one. Mm-hmm. Originally, Leonard Kirk was scheduled to draw that one, but he had a stroke, of course, and that threw off the plans. The guy who is drawing the Thing book, I regret I can't think of his name, but he's the guy that did the Spider-Punk series.
Yeah.
And he's a great artist. So I think it's going to be pretty cool regardless. So yeah, it's Ben Grimm fighting old classic amazing Marvel villains, and I would have killed to get a chance to draw a real cover for that series, but Marvel makes it real hard to do variants. They don't always do variants. They're apparently not doing variants for that one, from what I heard. Although I thought I recently saw a variant advertised for it, so I don't know. But I wish it could have been me because I could have rocked the hell out of that, man. That would have been a dream come true. Maybe you can never give up on your dreams, man. Maybe it's still in my future. I don't know. I'm hoping so because that would be super cool.
Have you been watching Daredevil?
I have, yeah. I thought it was over. I weirdly thought it was only going to be 6 episodes, and then I saw number 7 was out the other day, and I'm really liking that too. It's been a different kind of spirit to it though, which I've liked. It's nice to see a series that focuses on Matt Murdock, because obviously he's the whole thing, but yeah, it has a cool spirit, and Vincent D'Onofrio, unbelievable in that role of Kingpin. Yeah. And the cool thing I heard was, I heard that he's actually been, he threw his hat in the ring to play Swamp Thing in the upcoming Swamp Thing movie, which is going to be more of a standalone horror movie, but in the James Gunn universe. So I think Vincent D'Onofrio as Swamp Thing is something that I don't think any of us realized we needed. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a big Derek Mears fan, and I thought he crushed it in his role as Swamp Thing on the CW show. It's a tragedy that thing never got to see its full potential, because that show I thought was note perfect to the books. And Derek is just a real sweetheart of a guy, who I've known for a long time, and the fact that he got to work on Swamp Thing in that capacity was, I know it was a big thrill for him. He also played Jason, and he was in Alita Battle Angel and a bunch of other things too that you've probably seen. But he's a great character actor, and I thought he was an excellent Swamp Thing. But yeah, I think Vincent D'Onofrio would certainly bring something else to the character as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I'm so excited. I saw that Superman trailer. I saw the first trailer like a few months ago, and then this recent teaser that's been going around. Oh, it just makes me so happy. I watched that trailer, and I just feel so good, and I feel like, how lucky are we to have a Superman movie coming out at the same time we have a Fantastic Four in Marvel's hands.
That was my next question. What do you think of the Fantastic Four stuff so far?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going into that one cautiously optimistic, because I could spend 3 hours talking about everything that they've gotten wrong in the Fantastic Four movies. But this thing that I've seen, I have to say, I'm impressed, and I love the dude who's playing the Thing. I loved him in The Bear. He's such a cool character. My only tiny complaint, if I could make a tiny complaint, is I feel like the Thing needs to have about 37% more New York in his accent. But other than that, and maybe the little bit of gravel in the voice, but I think it's finally in the right hands. Of everyone I've seen cast so far, the only one that has me kind of wondering is Pedro Pascal as Reed, and that's only because I love everything Pedro has done, but Reed is there's such a I don't know. I almost feel like Pedro's too cool to play Reed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's almost too cool to play that character. I would really be interested to see how he can make Reed cool, because Reed's a complex dude with a lot of darkness, and I know that Pedro can pull that stuff off too. But I don't know, man. That's the only one that kind of has me scratching my head. But I'm going into it very optimistic. I think it's going to be so nice to see what they do with that great old property. To have the first Superman, like the real, like, legit feel good kind of Superman movie coming, and they're going to introduce so many great characters in that, and then to have Marvel finally taking care of their first family in that studio. I don't know. I think we're in for some really, really awesome stuff.
I think so too.
I'm very excited about it. And we finally get giant purple helmeted Galactus. Like, they're gonna finally prove what I've always known, and that is you can do it. The people are ready for it. They want it. They don't want a cosmic gas cloud. They want a giant man wearing a giant purple helmet.
For sure.
Looks like it came out of Jack Kirby's the weirdest part of Jack Kirby's brain, and we're ready for that. We need that now, and I hope they can get Blastar in the movie, because that would just make little Mike lose his mind, because Blastar is my guy, and he's he's very much in my collector zeitgeist as a youngster. Like when I was going to Comic Cons, when I first started going to Comic Cons, I used to treat myself to hiring an artist, didn't matter who, to do a sketch of Blastar, and I think I've amassed something like, I don't know, 80 or 90 drawings of Blastar over the years. And I haven't done it. I haven't treated myself for a while. I'd love to get a Tom Grummett. I think the last one I got was I got a Dale Keown. And I think the last one I got was a Leonard Kirk. I think Leonard Kirk can do no wrong. I think the man is a genius. And he did me a beautiful Blastar. So I'd love to see him in the movies. I just think he's such a great shaggy-headed character that would just look so awesome in film. Like, I just feel like it'd be the way they could do the Negative Zone would be so much fun. And I don't know, man. There's so much great material with the FF that they could start it anywhere at any point and it would still work. I love that I hope that we can do a Superman movie without the origin. You know what I mean? We don't need the origin. We can just, like, give me a movie where it starts out where Superman is fighting a giant ant in outer space or something. You know what I mean? A giant mutant beetle in space, or maybe he's tangling with Sinestro or some classic DC villain that, again, we don't need an origin for. Let's just start the story. Let's just start right in the middle. The
first scene is just him fighting Lobo in space.
That would be amazing. Yeah, that would be incredible. Like, and are they going to tease Lobo in this one? Surely they must, right? Like,
I think they already have.
Oh, have they? Is he in the?
I don't think they have footage of him, but they've teased it already, because like Jason Momoa had said and everything.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were saving that for the Supergirl movie. But,
right, that's the Supergirl movie. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah. But you know what? I don't care either way. I'm not even sure who the big bad guy is in the Superman movie, other than Luthor, who I think is, again, brilliantly cast. That the guy they got playing Luthor I love him in everything he's done, and I think him as Luthor is a really interesting. With Nicholas Hoult, right?
Yeah,
I think it's a really interesting cast for him. And yeah, he looks like there's someone with a leather jacket on tackling Superman in one of those shots. I'm like, I don't know if that's Lobo, but that would be pretty cool. I don't know.
I think that's what's his name? Major Disaster. Is that his name?
Oh, interesting. Really?
Yeah. Huh. I could be wrong there.
DC's always had the weirdest and coolest villains, man. I don't know. I feel like they could do just about anything they want. They got some awesome stuff. That was my heartbreaker with the Swamp Thing TV show, was we had that amazing version of the Floronic Man, who just kind of was realized in episode 10 when they canceled the show. It's really too bad, because the guy was just perfect. Like, that was the only variant that the only small change to the canon that they made. In the original comics, Floronic Man is already an established villain when he disassembles Swamp Thing and tries to figure Swamp Thing out. In the show, he's just a crazy doctor, Dr. Woodrue, who does the experiments on himself and kind of becomes Floronic Man via his experiments on Swamp Thing. That was the only difference that I recognized that they made. Everything else was pretty much just nailed it perfectly. So yeah, I don't know. So look, we're in a very fortuitous time to be alive. There's so much great stuff that's finally being recognized and brought to film. And I mean, people say there's that superhero movie fatigue. Well, once people realize that there's a bunch of other comics out there that aren't superhero related that they can start to tap, we'll get into some amazing things. Like even some of the stuff that Aftershock did that was, that was optioned for film. Like, where are those films? Like, where's the Animosity film? Like, that's going to be great. That could be an amazing ongoing show.
Well, same thing with the Calculated Man and with the Chicken Devil as well. Like,
Absolutely.
those were, Calculated Man is just basically almost like The Accountant, like the Ben Affleck movie.
Pretty much, pretty much. I love that series too. That was cool as hell, man.
Me too.
Yeah, I love doing that cover, and I know Michael Berglund killed it on that one that he did too.
The Punisher homage.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's work was solid, man. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. I know we could both talk forever because it's easy to do when you're drawing and that, but I will get you to finish up here. Tell everybody once again where they can find your stuff and where they can get some of your artwork and that, especially people
Yeah,
that can't make it to your shows.
sure. I'll put this sticker on camera here. I'll get one close up of the camera here.
Oh, cool.
So we got MikeRooth.com. That's my website. You can also find me on socials at Uncouth Ruth. It's probably out of focus there. Uncouth Ruth on Instagram. I'm pretty much doing everything on Instagram and Facebook these days. I am also on Blue Sky. You can find me on Blue Sky either as I think it's just Ruth or Uncouth Ruth on Blue Sky. Yeah, you can reach out to me through my website. You can reach out to me through Instagram. Or any of those social medias, and and stay tuned. If you want to get some of these variants that I've done, you can reach out to me directly if you want to. But if you want to support the retailer who I worked with on these, JC, he's in California, but he'll make you a great deal if you reach out to him. He's got issues 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the Turtles of Grayskull. If you haven't picked up any of these yet, you can only get them from him, and you can only get them from me here in Canada. But I've only got a limited supply. Like I've got one long box with my copies of these books and my Naruto books and stuff in it. But you can go Mystery Collectibles. He's on Mystery Collectibles on Instagram, or you can go to, I believe it's mysterycollectibles.com, and you can get all of my books there. We've done a crap ton of books. We did TMNT issues 1 to 4, issue 7, the 40th anniversary foil, and we did we've done some really cool stuff. So you can support him that way. But if you want to support anybody right now, please, I'm encouraging you to go out there and support Danny Harrell's Kickstarter, Rebel Girls, Night of the Opry, Phantom of the Opry, sorry. It's the guy is just, he's one of my favorite people. He's a very good friend, and he's really helped me out of a lot of jams, and he's kind of got into the comic world, the old school way with hard work and dedication, and he's self-taught, and a lot of the things that he's doing. He deserves to have success. He deserves to have his book turned into a TV show, and he deserves to be made into a millionaire for it. You can help in that journey by going and supporting his Kickstarter, which is on, I think, only till the 15th of April. It's only on for maybe another 10 or 11 days or something like that. So jump on before it's over and make sure you get a piece of that action. You can get original art of mine and original art, I think, from other people on that one too. But please go and support Danny Harrell, and reach out to me anytime if you have any questions or anything like that. I can put those links up and stuff on your Facebook page, I guess, Nathan.
Sure, you can. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll wrap this guy up later today, and I'll we can put this up for auction as well. And
I'll make sure everybody gets the links to see that when I put it up. So the video will go up later today, and then we'll update it in the comments and that when the piece is ready for auction. So I'm sure someone will snap it up because everybody always does, because you draw such amazing stuff. So.
Thanks, man. He's a lot of fun to draw. A lot of me goes into him. He's still my patron saint of grief. He showed up when my grandfather passed away. He showed up again when my grandmother passed away back in January. And he showed up right on my page, like he was there, like right, ready for me to cry again. He always shows up when I need him, and he was here for us today as well. So
awesome.
Always good, man. And it's always good to chat with you. It's been way too long. Let's do this again.
I agree. And we will. Don't worry.
Right on, man.
All right, buddy. Thanks for Mike for coming out, and thanks for you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys all soon for another interview. Peace out.
Be good.